let's take a look at the ACR, Adobe Camera RAW interface. We have our image in the center. Up at the top, it's our file name and what camera it was shot with. As we move to the right, we have this first panel. It has the bulk of our editing. We're going to go through all of these things. And then to the right of that, right now I'm on the edit panel. You know that I'm there because it's got this little tick over here on the side. But we've got cropping, we've got healing, we have an adjustment brush in here, a graduated filter, a radial filter, red eye reduction, snapshots, presets, and then down here you can reset your Camera RAW image. So with each one of these we get a different set of panels to work with. So we're gonna most of the time start with our basics panel. And this little eyeball right here lets you know that something's been done. Right off the bat, my optics have been adjusted by Adobe Camera RAW. I have it set up to go in and do an adjustment for my particular camera and lens. I've got my Sony camera and it's making an adjustment for my 24-105 lens and a profile. If I just click this on and off, you can see what it looks like without that adjustment. So it's correcting for distortion. And I'm going to click the little arrow to close that back up. If we look up here at the top, one of the things we're going to do is we're going to save our files as Dngs for the first ACR assignment. And when we click here, it brings up the dialog box where you do that. And you're going to find that in a handout in a little bit, so you can just save it to the DNG format. And next up, this little toggle are all the Camera RAW preferences. General, file handling, performance, RAW defaults, and workflow. Right now we're going to leave all of these set to their default. One of the things I do change though is my resolution from 300 to 240. 240 is the optimum PPI, pixels per inch, for printing on an inkjet printer. 300 is what you'd want to use out at a lab. You might remember that from some earlier videos. But I do most of my printing to an inkjet printer. If I want to take up the entire screen, that's what this next little set does. That looks pretty good. When I click on the hand, I can move the image around. Remember, most of the time this works best when my image is larger and I'm looking for detail. Over here on the right hand bottom side, it says 200%. That's what I'm viewing it as. If I want to fit back to window, I can just come here and go fit in window. Click off of the hand. Next up, we've got the color sampler. So if I click here, I already set 2 points. Let's reset those. Just like in the panels in Photoshop, we can reset these and start again. So 1 point, 2 point, 3 point. And that's telling us our color values. Next up, we can add an overlay on here. We can change the grid size. That helps for straightening and various other little things. You can change the opacity of those lines if you want them to be fainter. Down at the bottom, where it says Adobe RGB 1998, those are our preferences again. So we could access them from up here, the little gear, or down here. So we're going to say OK. And then here's our preview. If I click here, it's before and after. And it's telling us before after. This one is also a before and after. Before and after. One last thing to show you is if you have multiple images open in ACR, this little over here on the bottom left hand side will show you the film strip. So you just click up and there are your film strip options. If I click and hold, I can change the orientation from horizontal to vertical. I like the vertical, probably because that's how it always used to be in the old days, but whatever you guys prefer is what you should be working with. When we click here again, you can either show file names, which I have shown, and your ratings. So you can hide those. It can be really clean without it, or show it. It's up to you. And while we're here, we can click on the different images. That is your basic placement of where everything is. I'm sure there'll be a few things that you see that you want to explore. Just click on it and see what it does. Don't be afraid to explore. Go have some fun. Next video, we are going to correct this image.